July is one of the busiest months if you have a summer garden. And in this video, I'm going to give you the top 12 things that you need to have on your July garden to-do list to make sure that your summer garden stays thriving, that you have food in abundance, and that you just keep up with everything that's going on. So in this video, I'm going to go over the top 12 things for the July garden to-do list. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm so glad that you landed here. Please say hello in the comments so I can say hello back to you. And let me know what city, state, or country you're coming in from so I know what part of the world you are tuning in from. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've been here before, good to see you again. I am glad that you continue to show up. Now, if you are new, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee. I am in zone 7B, and I am standing, y'all, in my outside garden. And let me just tell you something. I'm not trying to brag, but this garden look good, okay? This is one of the most beautiful gardens I have ever grown. But let me focus. Let me focus. I'm standing like in front of Pollinator Row, so I have 100 feet of just nothing but flowers. Now, I got food too all around. I got plenty of food. But this row right here brings me joy. So if you don't know, I love flowers. But I also love growing food, and I love teaching you how to grow food. And so welcome to A Gardener's Journey Homestead. Let's just dive right in into the top 12 things. And so if you are new, I do this every single month. I give you a to-do list for your garden. And really, if I'm being honest, it's really just my to-do list, and I'm just sharing it with you because your girl has to have a list. First of all, who are all my checkers? Like, you got to check it off. Like, I will write something on there that I've already done just so I can check it off. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. It gives me such satisfaction because I am a results person. Now, we may have to move around this video because the sun is doing its thing, okay? And we're going to let the sun do its thing, and we will just adjust accordingly. But this is my to-do list, and so I share with you every single month so that you have a plan to follow, okay? So let's jump in with number one. Number one is this. This is the month that you're harvesting your food every single day. If at all possible, do not miss a day. Ask me how I know. Y'all, I hate to admit it, but I have already had to throw away some food, some cucumbers that were so bloated, like they're about to give birth, that I just missed because I didn't see them or I missed a day harvesting. And things like that, like cucumbers and okra, they pretty much have to be harvested on a daily basis. Right? You can't afford to miss a day. Now, obviously life happens, but I'm saying with all things being normal, number one is harvest your garden every single day. Look up under every leaf, look around the corners, but get your food because y'all, we have put a lot of work into this garden and we want to make sure that we get everything that the garden is producing. So that's number one on your list. When you ain't got but 15 minutes, go harvest your food. Okay. Now let's talk about the number two thing on your July garden to-do list. Number two is I want you to be focused on succession planting. Now, I did a whole video last month that I will link up here, and that is how I grow food all year long, 365 days of the year is succession planting. I will link that video up here, but also in my video a couple of days ago, I did a video about the 10 things that you can still grow in the month of July. I will link that up here as well. And so if you don't know what you can succession plant, go watch that video. But succession planting is literally planting again and again and again so that you have continual harvest and so that your harvests are staggered out, but so that you have food all summer long, okay? Don't just plant your garden in April and then just keep reaping the benefits because you're going to find yourself a little short. You're going to find yourself a little short. You will find yourself short, meaning that all of a sudden you're going to be like, I don't have any more squash, because once the squash does its thing and the squash buds come, that squash plant is done. It's over. Your cucumbers will not last from May until October. And so you're going to find yourself short, meaning you could have had more food. So number two is make sure that you have succession planted. One of the easiest things that I always say to do is throw you some green bean seeds in every little opening. That way you have continual green bean harvest, okay? So that is number two. Now let's talk about your third thing on the July garden to-do list. Now, as I talk about number three, right now we're in a heat wave. It's blazing hot and the summer garden is in full throttle. But number three is you got to start planning for your fall garden. Yes, in July, many people miss the opportunity of having a fall garden. One, because they just start too late. fall garden is largely dependent on timing. And so right now in the month of July, you need to get your plan together if you want to have a fall garden. That means order your fall seeds. Go through your inventory, right, from last fall. See if you need to order more Brussels sprouts or more broccoli or whatever the case may be. Go through your stuff and at very least order your seeds. And then map out your plan for the fall garden. Now, spoiler alert, I am going to be doing a fall garden workshop on July the 19th. The registration link will hit next week. But if you know that you want to be in that workshop, just say me down below. Say me workshop, me workshop. Put it down below. It is going to be virtual online for 2 hours. And I'm going to teach you how to do your fall garden, especially if you need help. Okay. But number 3 is start planning your fall garden. I want you to at least go through your inventory of your seeds and order what you don't have and at least map out where the stuff is going to go. Okay. Can we all agree to do that? Yes. Now, if you decide I don't want no fall garden, that's okay. That is okay. But this is what I will tell you is that fall garden, if you have never done a fall garden, it is the best time to garden. Number 1, you ain't got to deal with this heat. Number 2, the pest pressure. It is the easiest. Did I say easiest? Easiest way to garden. I would tell any new beginner to start with a fall garden than a summer garden. But I want to encourage you, if you've never had one, definitely say me down below for the workshop, and I will make sure that you get the link when it comes out next week. But the class is going to be on July the 19th. It's a Sunday afternoon, virtual online from 2 to 4. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is key during the month of July, and that is making sure that you stay on top of fertilization and fertilize the things that are heavy feeders. Corn, tomatoes, those are heavy feeders. They need a lot of nitrogen, okay? But your whole garden needs to be fertilized. As I'm talking right now, my garden it's not under fertilized, but I am off on my fertilization schedule. I fertilize every single week, but my inside tunnel has not been fertilized in 3 weeks just because of this. Either it's the rain or the heat wave. And so with the heat wave, it's, even though it's morning right now, because the sun is so hot and so intense and it's coming, then the only time I can really fertilize is late in the evening. And I just have not been able to get out here to do that. So it's behind, but my garden still looks great. It still looks amazing. Now, the thing about it is when you are in a heat wave, you don't want to stress your plants out. They are doing the best that they can just to keep up with this heat, to stay moisturized, all the things. So definitely do not fertilize in the heat of the day, in the heat of the day, in the middle of the day. You want to fertilize early morning or late in the evening when the sun is not present. But have a plan to fertilize the stuff that are heavy feeders, particularly your tomatoes and nitrogen, but I really want you to fertilize your entire garden. So in terms of fertilization, my regimen every single week is I use Ultra, which is actually a probiotic. And that's from AgriGrow. I use Rev, which is from organicrev.com. The link is down below. You get a discount code. I use that every single week, which is a great organic fertilizer. And then on every other week, I may use some fish emulsion or something particular if I need to do a boost of nitrogen, that I have a liquid nitrogen that I get from M.I. Gardner. Okay, so that is my typical fertilization schedule. Okay, but if you treat your garden well, it will treat you well. When you just cannot be as present, if you have taken care of your soil, if you have used great inputs, it will still produce for you. Okay, so that is number 4, which is fertilize your heavy feeders. Do not forget that in the month of July. Now, before we go on to number 5, I'm giving you 12 things. And one of the things, especially if you're new, if you haven't heard me say, is that this list is for the month. Now, obviously, we don't have all day and every day to spend out in our gardens. At least I don't. And so what I do is I look at my list and I prioritize, and I think about how long each task is going to take, and I put it in chunks, right? So today I may have 15 minutes and I may be able to fertilize because it's late in the evening, or I may be able to throw some green bean seeds. And so look at the list, you prioritize what's important for you, and then you block it off. Maybe I'm going to do this, this morning before I head to work. I'm going to do this on this weekend, whatever the case may be. Now, let's talk about number 5. Number 5 is so key, especially right now, especially if you're in the South where I am and where this heat wave is all over the nation, is stay ahead of watering. Especially, let me talk to my people who are gardening in containers. Containers dry out much quicker than the ground, like at a rate of like 2 to 1. And so when it's just a normal, not a heat wave, you have to water your containers. They will dry out quickly. Because of this situation, especially if you're in a heat wave situation, or you just live in a climate that is really, really hot all the time anyway, during the month of July, make sure that you are watering your containers. It may take twice a day. For anybody else who is not gardening in containers, stay ahead of your watering, right? Now, we have drip irrigation on 95% of all of our gardening spaces. And so that helps out a ton. Because if I had to come out here and water, in which I have done in year 1, 2, and 3, I used to water this whole garden by hand. And it took me over an hour, right? Which is why we got drip. But if you have drip, if you're doing it manually, the key thing is do not miss a day with watering your plants, especially if you are in a place that is very humid and very hot. Now, at the same time, let's not drown the plants, okay? Let's not drown the plants. You can always do a soil test. Just put your finger in the soil and see if it's moist. If it's all crackly on the top and it's all dry, it needs some water. If you got a pool sitting on top, it don't need water, okay? Let's just basic. Make sure that your plants are staying watered. Now let's talk about number 6 on our to-do list. Number 6 is a big one, especially if you are doing indeterminate tomatoes, and that is prune your tomatoes. I saw someone last week and they were talking about their garden and they were saying that they had not pruned, and they said, I don't even know where the main stem is anymore. Like, it's a lost cause. Like, the tomato is just going every which way. Listen, been there, done that. My first year, y'all, I grew Brandywine. Brandywine set me back. Your girl has not done Brandywine since year 1. Because when I tell you that thing and me were that thing was going every which way. It was like 8 feet tall. 8 feet tall. The branches are 8 feet out wide. It's stuff everywhere. Like, I could not even see. It was so bad, right? I didn't know any better. Now I know better. If you have indeterminate tomatoes, I know that there's this thing about prune, not prune. You get more if you don't prune and all that. Listen to the sound of my voice. Prune your tomatoes. 1, it's just easier to manage. It's going to be easier in terms of reducing your pest pressure. Number 3, you're going to be able to see what you got. Okay? Now, if you let it get out of hand, it's going to take you a minute to get it back in shape, which is why I said last month to make sure that you got your trellising up on your to-do list and make sure that you start pruning and all that. But if you have not done that, as best as you can, prune your suckers. Every sucker is in the V of your tomato plant. Every sucker is going to create a whole new tomato plant. And then it can be so frustrating to walk into your garden and you don't need, the gardener said, I don't even know what a main stem is anymore. Like, it's a lost cause. It's just a bush. Y'all, we work too hard. And there are tomatoes to be had. There's some BLTs to be had. So prune your tomatoes. And for me, I prune every single week. Every single week, I prune and I clip. I prune and I clip. Okay? And so make sure, and I'm looking at my tomatoes now because I'm over here by Tomato Row. They have not been done this week, but they will be done. But because I did it last week, they're not out of control. So prune your tomatoes is number 6. Now, if you are growing determinate tomatoes, and if you don't know the difference, indeterminate grows to 7, 8, 9 feet tall. They get to an indeterminate height, and they put on fruit all throughout the summer, right? A determinate tomato grows in a bush 3 or 4 feet high. So if you don't know and you're growing tomatoes, just look at your tomato. Is it real tall or is it in a bush? That's a quick way to tell. But with a determinate tomato, it puts on all of its fruit at one time. It does not go all summer long. And so for a determinate tomato, you don't prune that because there's no need to prune it, okay? So number 6 is prune your tomatoes. Number 7 is you best be on pest patrol. Look for your pests. Scout for your pests. Like, don't just be walking through your garden, sipping your tea. You need to start looking under leaves. You need to start looking at your branches. Are your branches cut off? Are holes in your leaves, right? This is the time of the heaviest pest pressure. Me, I am struggling with Japanese beetles all day long. All day long. But hornworms are coming out. Like all the stuff, aphids, squash bugs. You gotta be on pest patrol, which is why you have to walk your garden every day. So as you're harvesting, you're looking at your tomato stems and leaves. One of the key things when it comes to tomatoes, if you have hornworm damage, your leaves gonna be gone. It's just gonna be like a branch with no leaves. That's a key sign that you have hornworm damage. So make sure that you are scouting for the pest. Number 8, which is the job that I hate the most, is weed. Weed before they go to seed. Now, for the most part, I don't deal with a lot of weeds, except this year I am having some weed pressure in places where our paper needs to be replaced, i.e. in my tunnel. You walk in my tunnel, it is like a jungle right now, and it happened like literally overnight, right in the front area. But I'm talking about weeding like in your raised beds. I was walking through my my backyard garden this morning, and I saw little weeds popping up. Usually after it rains is when they pop up for me. And so today I got to just go through and pick them out. Like if I do it now, it's only going to take me, maybe 5 minutes, right? If I wait, it's going to become more of a challenge. So make sure that you stay on top of your weeds. So weed before they go to seed, and that way you can kind of keep them under control. That brings me to number 9, which is make sure that you refresh your mulch. This is something definitely on my to-do list this month, is that I need to bring in more mulch for all of my raised beds. I usually mulch like twice a year. And so if I mulch now, that'll carry me all the way until like maybe the spring, and then I'll do it again until this time next year. And so what the mulch is going to do is going to help you to conserve moisture, and it's also going to help you suppress weeds. And so in my raised beds, I use a mulch, and you can use hay, straw, leaves. So when it comes to mulch, use what you have access to. Straw, hay. I buy a product called garden straw from Amazon. It is in my Amazon shop. That is what I use. That's what I love. But if you have things around your property that you can use, like tree leaves and things like that, or chopped up leaves, do whatever you have to do, but make sure that you refresh your mulch in places. And also, like mine, if I do it now, it's going to carry me through the fall and the winter. So that is definitely on my to-do list, is to refresh the mulch. Now let's talk about number 10. We're near the end of our list. Number 10 is plant more flowers, right? And so, like I said before, flowers are a great companion in your garden. Not only are they beautiful, like I got a whole pollinator row, but they do just that. They bring the bees to your garden. They bring the pollinators to your garden, which is what you want. You want your stuff to be pollinated. You want it to be abundant, but give them a place to come to. So you may not be into the beauty and aesthetics of it like me. Then you can just buy you some cheap old marigolds. It don't have to be the color that you want if you're not into that. But if you like beauty, then get the colors that you want. Get you some zinnias, some sunflowers. You can still put that stuff in the ground right now in the month of July, because in 50 or 60 days, you will have flowers. Or just go buy you some from the nursery. But plant more flowers so that you have a continual flower harvest, pollinator situation all the way up until your first frost. And then number 11 is this. You gotta have a plan to preserve your harvest, and you have to preserve your harvest. Again, July for me is the peak season, peak month where I get the bulk of my harvest. I harvest all the way, on the summer garden, all the way up to like October, but July is where the biggest harvests come in. And so my counters are usually flooded with stuff. And so I have to stay and be intentional on top of the harvesting, because you don't want to lose it in the field or lose it in your house. So sometimes we don't lose it in the field. We'll come out here and do number 1, we harvest every day, but then it'll sit on our counter and we lose it on our counter because 1, we don't have a plan for it. 2, we don't make time for it. 3, we don't have time, whatever the case may be. And so I'm asking you now to be intentional. Know how you're going to preserve your harvest, okay? I have a video coming out next week showing you what do I do when I bring stuff in from my garden all the way into my house. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get all the tips, or as the kids say, all the tea, okay? So definitely go ahead and do that. But that is where I see a lot of gardeners make mistakes. They don't have a plan to preserve. And I've done a video a while back, I have to see if I can find it, about there's 5 ways that you can preserve your harvest, okay? Everybody doesn't have a freeze dryer. Everybody doesn't have a dehydrator. But in that video, I go through multiple things, and you have to figure out for your family what preservation method works best for whatever crop you are bringing in. Like I may freeze green beans, but will never freeze like, tomatoes or whatever the case may be. That's just an example. So preserve your harvest is number 11. Now we're down to the final one, which is number 12. Order your potatoes if you're doing fall potatoes, and order your garlic for the fall. Put that on your July to-do list. Do not miss it. Now, if you're doing fall potatoes, you definitely want to get your potato order in, or if you have a place locally where you buy those. I'm going to be doing fall potatoes in my zone 7. I will be planting them out the last week of July or the first week of August, no later than the first week of August. And so if you want to join me in doing fall potatoes, go ahead and order your fall potatoes. I ordered mine yesterday. I get mine from Wood Prairie Family Farm online. It's an organic seed potato. I've used them for the last 3 years and they have done well. And if you didn't see, your girl harvested 50 pounds this spring. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So we're going to get even more potatoes this fall. So order your fall potatoes, and then also order your garlic, because before we know it, the fall will be here. And if you don't do nothing else this fall, you got to put you some garlic in the ground, because it's the easiest crop to grow. But don't miss out and wait too late. Okay? I did my garlic order, I want to say a month ago. So mine is already in. And so if you've missed that, put it on your to-do list right now to order your garlic. I get my garlic from Mad River Garlic Growers online. I've used them for the last 4 years. Wonderful, great, never had an issue. I also had a great garlic harvest. I'll put that video up here if you want to see what my garlic harvest looked like. If you want, like, let me see what she talking about. Let me see if she really had some garlic. Go check it out. Your girl had garlic, okay? So those are the 12 things on your July garden to-do list. Now, let me know in the comments, what things are you taking from this that you know, like, yep, I need to add that, I need to do that. Put it down in the comments below. What was an aha for you? What was man, I'm so glad you said that. I forgot about that. Put it down in the comments below. And then let me know how your gardens are doing. Now, remember, don't be overwhelmed by this list. It's 12 things. We have 31 days in the month of July. You can get it done. And I purposely did this video now for the 4th of July weekend, and I'm posting it early because you may have a long weekend, and even after the barbecue and all that, you may have time to go out to your garden and do a few of these things right now, this weekend, right? While you have a long weekend, you may be home and off today, and you be like, oh, let me do that right now. I'm at the computer. Let me order my stuff, right? That's purposely why I did it today. Trying to give you the best advantage as possible. But break it up, plan it out, but just get it done, okay? So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that this was helpful for you and kind of gives you a blueprint of, here are the 12 things I need to do in the month of July for my summer garden. Again, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Remember, gardening is a journey, but let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend. Thanks so much for stopping by our channel. And if you would, take a moment and go to our website at livingfoodsfarm.com. You can see all of the latest YouTube videos in case you missed one. You can subscribe to the channel, sign up for our email list, as well as join our YouTube membership. Also, we have many items for sale under the shop tab. You can go to kitchen or to skin and body, depending on what you're looking for. We source many of the items right here from things that we grow on the farm, or we buy from an organic source. We also have digital resources as well that you can instantly download. We have everything from seed starting calculators, how to build healthy soil, as well as 2-hour classes, replays on sourdough, canning, and fall gardening, and how to start your garden for the very first time. So go take a look, see if there's anything that you would be interested in, and thank you so much again for stopping by our channel.